Hello everyone, Dynamo here. Welcome to another episode of Hot 4. Today's character will be covering Saga Anderson from the psychological survival horror game Alan Wake 2, developed by Remedy Entertainment, released in October 2023. Okay, let's begin. Who is Saga Anderson? She is one of two main protagonists in this game. She is an FBI agent with a gifted track record for profiling victims and suspects due to her supernatural abilities. Let me introduce to you guys what is Alan Wake. Breaking it down in the easiest terms can help you process on what's going on in this game. Alan Wake, the game's main protagonist, a troubled yet successful crime thriller novelist from New York. Having writer's block and exhausted from the fame, he went on a getaway with his wife, Alice, to Bright Falls, Washington. During his stay, Alice went missing, the whole town started acting strange, an unnatural phenomena called the Dark Presence, a malevolent force that pursues Alan and causes nightmares and otherworldly things to occur. This Dark Presence feeds off of creative people, specifically artists. The Dark Presence wants Alan to write a manuscript to bring it to life into our world. He tries to fight back and he then went missing into a hostile dimension called the Dark Place. Then, the story left off in Bright Falls over a decade later, where Saga Anderson's story begins. The case with Alan came about when three gruesome murders with their hearts torn out by a cult who are obsessed and possessed by the Dark Presence, leaking its influence into our world. Saga was called to this case not only because of her hidden powers, but her connection to Alan Wake. For you see, whenever Alan writes something down, it changes the narrative on how the plot of the story unfolds. He can add or change characters, even be at different set locations. However, doing so have drastic consequences to him and others unknowingly. That's because it opened doors to other dimensions, letting in unwanted entities that come in and go as they please, as well as unintentionally harming those in the way. For every action has a reaction. In Saga's case, she is a character that is written by one of Alan's manuscripts in order to get him out of the dark place. Alan did not literally create Saga per se, but more like he vaguely guided her to his location, hence the gruesome murders that was happening in Bright Falls by the cult, which became the clues to start the investigation. Though the murders were not by his design, that was the Dark Presence influence. Saga's sole purpose in this game was to rescue Alan and help him fight the Dark Presence. Furthermore, she also successfully killed an evil shadow clone of Alan called Mr. Scratch, a manifestation from the Dark Place. Alright, let's talk about Saga's powers and abilities. She possessed low-level telepathy and true sight. Saga is able to see for what they really are, and people's intentions, within a realm inside her head called the Mind Place, a visionary room where she makes most of her investigations, taking in items and profiling people to make deductions to understand their whereabouts, intent, and purposes. She inherited this ability from her mother's side of Scandinavian descent, named Freya Anderson, whom Freya is also a daughter of another significant supporting character named Tor Anderson, whom to believe had powerful true sight, making Saga his granddaughter. Saga is also intelligent and proficient in firearms due to her background as an FBI agent and police training. Let's talk about her personality. Saga can be described as blunt and empathetic. She is understanding yet also cautious to those around her. She is shown to be motherly as well because of her late daughter, Logan. When Saga's powers manifested, she and her mother left the Anderson farm at a very young age, which kind of put a strain on the family's foundation. But unknowing to Saga, this family departure was more about her safety from the possibilities from her father, which I will get into later. Time for some trivia. Number 1. Before Alan Wake 2 was created, there was a teaser trailer called Return, and an Easter egg video for an action-adventure game called Quantum Break, which was also created by Remedy Entertainment in 2016. The original character Saga was played by a Finnish singer and actress named Mala Malanvera. Sorry if I mispronounced it. The purpose for this Easter egg was actually a sales pitch for the Alan Wake sequel, because the studio, Remedy, lacked a stable publisher back then. And second, Remedy wanted to interconnect all their games into a multi-universe. Control, Quantum Break, and Alan Wake. Which brings me to trivia number 2, Saga's father. There is a lot of fan speculation and theory that this powerful interdimensional entity named Mr. Door could possibly be her father. His real name is Warland Door, a former resident in Bright Falls. His role remains a mystery even to Alan himself, but his connection to the Dark Place and the power to travel between realms is significant to the game's story. In another game, Quantum Break, Mr. Door is known as Martin Hatch. who has the power to distort time and space, able to create multiple versions of himself and maintain his physical presence in different timelines. So, when Mr. Door appeared in the game Alan Wake 2, he mentions to him that actions have consequences and is possibly harming to those Mr. Door loves. This could mean his daughter, Saga. And finally, trivia number 3. The name Saga in Norse mythology means seer, which means to see. And now for my final thoughts. In my opinion, the real-life model for Saga is gorgeous, played by Melaine Laborde. The actress herself is mixed and it correlates to the game itself, strongly hinting her relations with Mr. Door. That's all I gotta say. Thank you all for watching. Dynamode out.